my name is Susan, and we're here for another episode of Crafting at Home with Aaron Public Library. I'm sure it's pretty obvious that we are not sitting in my kitchen crafting. We are actually out on the deck, and it is twilight, almost at the end of that, because I wanted to show you our projects this week. This week we are using solar lamps with drip painted pots to create lights for a deck. Now this construction here is very, very simple. All it is a 9-inch plate, a 6.5-inch pot, and a solar light. I didn't glue anything. Everything is just, the pot is turned upside down. The solar lamp is just in that drain hole, and it just sits out here on the deck. It charges during the day, and it gives us a little bit of color on the deck at night. Very easy project to do, and we're going to go in the garage and we're going to talk about how to do drip painting. Hello, we've moved into the garage and we brought our projects with us. I want to start by talking about the supplies that we used. We have 2 solar lights, and of course these come in many designs. I just chose this because I thought it was pretty. I did take the stakes out because I don't need them. And if the stake is in there, it projects up a little bit higher. I kind of like it lower and closer to the pot. We have 2 pots. These are 6.5-inch pots. The drip trays underneath are 9 inches. Now these are not the trays that would normally have come with these pots, but I wanted something a little bit larger because the pot was going to be turned upside down. Each one of these pots had 2 coats of flat white Rust-Oleum paint added to it before we did anything, because I wanted the white to show through. I also wanted Rust-Oleum because these are going to be outside. The acrylic paints that you see, including the pot and the trays, these have been drying for approximately 36 hours. They are dry to the touch, but probably not dry all the way. They currently have 2 coats of a clear Rust-Oleum finish on there, and we will probably add 2 more coats before we're done because I'd like to leave these out on the deck. The colors that you see in front of each project are the colors that I used. So this one had 3 colors, and then I also added some metallic in bronze and a metallic gold. This one had 4 colors. I added the metallics, and I also used a metallic green. And we're going to talk about how we did this in just a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I did leave the top of the pots white on purpose because I think that white will help reflect the color from the solar lights. So now I want to show you how to do this kind of painting. So we're going to move over here. Excuse me. And I want to begin with things that didn't work. So the first one I want to show you is this one. There are a lot of videos on Pinterest and YouTube that talk about doing this kind of drip painting. One of the videos I looked at suggested that adding just a little bit of water to the acrylic paint would make it flow easier and dry more quickly. And those things are very true. But if you look, you can see through these colors. They don't hold that intense, vibrant color that acrylic paints usually have. So yes, it dries more quickly. Yes, it flows more easily, but I didn't care for the finished product. This one I did using acrylic paints. I took each color and went all the way around the pot. And that's not a technique that I will probably use again. I'm going to do the one I'm going to demonstrate for you a little bit differently. They flowed easily and it dried nicely, but the last color I put on, the darker color, kind of overrode everything else. So I'd like to do it a slightly different way. Now, I am by no means an expert on drip painting. There are many people on YouTube and Pinterest who have far more experience than I do. I'm just going to share with you the technique that worked for me and the technique that I used on these projects. So I'm going to start with 3 paints, and I'm going to use different colors than I had before. And I'm going to grab these pretty metallics and bring them over here. Now, one of the things I do recommend is that you seriously shake up this paint. Again, one of the videos that I looked at as I was researching this project suggested that this is a good way to use up old paint or paint that you have just a little bit of. And that's very true. However, old paint can also get globby. So you want to make sure that you have a paint that's going to flow smoothly. So I have another 4.5-inch pot here. It has 2 coats of white Rust-Oleum on it. I have it sitting on a block of wood so the paint can run down. Now, any place that the pot is touching the block, paint is going to pool, and you will get this kind of effect. That doesn't bother me because of the color, and also my trays are hiding it. But if that bothers you, simply use a narrower base or put something under the pot to hold it up in the air and have the paint go around it that way. The technique that I'm going to use is I'm going to go around the paint one time with my first color. With my other colors, I am going to spot choose where I want those colors to go. So we're going to start with the green. This is a dark green. It's called English Ivy. And I'm just going to follow the line of the pot. And I'm going to let gravity take care of the drips. Now if you want to cheat with gravity, go back and add some more, and it will do it for you. I think this is also affected by the fact that we're out here in the humidity, which is also affecting my speaking voice, so I do apologize for that. I am going to add some Golden Sunset. And now instead of going all the way around, I'm just going to pick and choose where I put the paint. And I want to make sure it's going to go down the pot, so I'm not at the edge, but I'm over the edge. And if you put enough paint in there, be generous with the paint. It will go down. You do need to be in a place where you can walk around. And you'll see the paint is going down. I can always go back and add more of whatever color I want. I am going to add, this is a metallic paint, and it's actually called Sky Blue. And again, I'm going to pick and choose where I put it. The metallics are a little bit thicker. Now again, something like this is going to take a good 36 hours, 48 hours to dry. We did let ours dry, first in the garage and then out on the deck. But with the humidity that's coming, it could take longer. Now I'm going to move on to my, again, this is called Antique Copper, and it's on both of the pots that we showed you originally. So I'm going to come back, and I'm going to put some copper in here. And again, not at the side of the pot, I'm sorry, not at the top of the pot, but at the side. So I am kind of determining where the rivers are going. I do love this copper. And I think I'm going to This is a gold metallic. And you'll notice it's just running down the side of the pot. I don't have to do anything. You do want to be in a place, because if you're going to spray these later with the acrylic finish or a Rust-Oleum or something, you do want to be in a place that's well ventilated. We do have the garage door open, the doors open, the windows open. As you're going along, you can see where you need to add color if you want to add color. I will have to do a little spot touch up on the top here because I did get some color on there, and I do want some white. Can you kind of pan around it so that they can see? I will. If you stand there, I'll move the paper. How's that? My husband is doing the filming as usual. Yay. This did flow nicely. I don't see any globs, so that's a good thing. Now, if you think about it, this is 2, 4. This is the 5th pot I've done. And there you go. Drip painting on a clay pot. A little bit of a base coat. I wanted the white to show. The white doesn't have to show. You can cover the whole pot if that's what you want to do. These are acrylic paints that you could easily get at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, any kind of a craft store. The pots were from either Lowe's or Menards or Dollar Tree. And our Rust-Oleum, you can just get these at any kind of a store that has hardware supplies in it. I believe we were at Walmart. But I hope you have an opportunity to try this. It's fun, it's different, and you get some lovely decorations for your deck. Have a good time and enjoy.